What's poppin'? It's your boy Cassius Cuvée. Just starting off a few minutes early. Gonna play my classic music video in real life while we let everybody join. Let's get it poppin'.
I stepped off the jet, go straight to rock a show for my people. Decentralized social, met the founder of DISA. Pop a bunch of bottles, party all night long. The next day, me and D. Marie recorded a song. I'm just a boy from the Bay, what more can I say? Went to NFTLA and stayed for more than a day. Met Austin and Aaron at the VIP, checking with the best crypto news show. You gotta respect them. Special shout out to Devin and Rich reppin' Superworld. We went to a party, met a real life Supergirl. Whenever I seen Kyla, she was always smiling. She be lighting up the praise booth without even trying. I done came a long ways from the days when I was struggling. A crab in the bucket, then mad when they was rugging them. But now I flip the script, take a trip and we can have a ball. And hit the strip with more drip than Niagara Falls. I met a chick so thick it's no refusing her. She told me that this Web3 life is seducing her. She want me to feel her confidence to the fullest. I'm like altcoin daily, baby, always bullish. Now, if you get with me, then baby we gon' see if you meant to be in the lifestyle. If you get with me, then baby we gon' see if you meant to be in the lifestyle. In real life, in real life, in real life, in real life.
In real life, it's your boy Cassius Cuvée. Shout out to the chat, everybody's here early and on time. Appreciate y'all.
Shout out to my DJs who mostly getting richer. You should tag them, cause they don't waste their time posting pictures. I met founders like Reggie, pioneers like Jim Jordan. Israel told me who were early and important. I seen them in LA, then at Bitcoin Miami. Kicked it with David Lynn and High Monks. They the family did a blocks to interview. With Meeks and then about to be at the after party with High D's on the balcony. Even in my jeans, you can see my blings. Me and Dreamer hit the scene like some DeFi kings. And investing with Annie, that's the Bitcoin queen. Or follow Stash in your bags, couldn't get more green. Miss Teen Crypto and Wendy Yo in real life. It feels nice like sitting on the top of a hill twice. I chill with Will Berry in a castle above with Jared, Doug, Brad, and Amy till the sun coming up. Call Kayla Love, Spotty Wi-Fi, and a couple groupies. Then pick a plot across the sandbox from Uncle Snoopy. Subscriber count is kinda low, but it ain't nothing to me. Still live this Web3 life like it's a fucking movie. If you get with me,
Web3 life, we gon' see boy Cassius Cuvée all day.
In the lifestyle. If you get with me,
Bitcoin conference coming up. Who's gonna be there? If you're going to the Bitcoin conference, put it in the chat. I appreciate that at King's mentality. We're gonna be seeing all these folks. I didn't go to Bitcoin last year, so now this year is the year that I'm like playing a little catch up.
Don't be fooled by the follower count on those scam ass Web2 platforms.
Web3.
I'm verified on decentralized
in real life.
Deso, let's go.
Shout out to the green braids. Yo, what's poppin', y'all? I'm gonna play this music in the background. Hopefully it ain't too loud this time. I got a new music player. I didn't really like that other one. Let me know. Can y'all hear the music in the background at all? Is it too quiet, too loud? What's it at? Put it in the chat one time for the one time. Man, we got a big weekend ahead of us, and it's kind of crazy because we are right at a crossroad. I mean, look, this is dead center. This is Bitcoin on the 10-minute chart. Dead center. But first of all, man, shout out to everybody in Discord. I shout out everybody in the chat. And I got to say at the beginning, this is not financial advice. It's never financial advice. I'm just telling you guys what I'm seeing when I look at the charts, how I'm trading them in my Discord. Same thing, not financial advice, but I do call out a lot of entries and exits. I call out, you know, how high of a risky play it is, or, you know, where we at. I'm always honest with you guys in the Discord when I'm talking about my chat. I mean, talking about my trades. And I'm always going to talk about how basically how much conviction I have on a trade. Oh, shout out to my man from South Africa. Right on, right on. I'm going to be doing the next show on Sunday at noon my time. So 4 hours earlier than this, but on Sundays. And we're going to have a little more fun with it. Going to be doing the first Sunday this time, like a warm-up. And then next Sunday after that, we're going to have a surprise. Going to have a surprise. Everybody who's rocking with me in the private Discord, you better tune into that one because you might get mentioned by name on Sunday. So make sure you participate in the Discord and everything I'm talking about in there, because that's what I like to do is, you know, show love to the people who support me. So if anybody's been following Cassius Cuvée since 2021, since SPAC Dream came out, my first financial song on the scene, you know what I like to do. I like to give a shout out to everybody who taught me in the game, everybody who supports me, all my friends, everybody who I can learn something from. That's really what I'm about, you know? And so that's why I got to give back all the information to my followers, because someone taught me the game, so I'm going to pass it on to y'all. So really, without taking too much more time to jump into it, I mean, we're letting everybody get into the chat. I know I started a couple minutes early. So I see my man here in the Discord and in the chat. So right on. Shout out and if you're rocking with me on both places. We are at a crossroads for Bitcoin right now. You know what I mean? So I'm glad you tuned in so we can find out what's happening next. This is really one of those moments. It's kind of make or break. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. You can do what you want to do based upon what I'm saying or based upon something else. But I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm looking at. I'm going to show you. I definitely want to say also, shout out to my affiliate partners, Breakout Prop up here. I've got positions in Breakout Prop and in Phemex. But if you use Breakout Prop, use my that's a discount code on the screen right there. So I would use that if you guys using Breakout Prop, because you get a discount on Breakout Prop. If you use that on every evaluation you buy, you get that discount right there, that discount code. And they don't really do promotions or anything like that, not that I've ever seen, and that's not what they've told me also, they never do. So that discount is the best you're going to get anywhere on the interwebs. So anyways, shout out to them. If you're trading there, you can drop your questions in the Discord and the chat. Also Phemex. Everybody who joined the Discord for free used my Phemex referral link. So you guys have an account. I know you guys are real traders, and I do that on purpose. So I keep out the riffraff trolls and the people who just want to make a bunch of noise and distract everybody who's really trying to learn and make some money. So you got to have a Phemex trading account in order to join my Discord for free. Otherwise, it's $99 a month. Now, the Discord's going to be ramping up soon. You guys probably see my admin in there. He's going to be reaching out to you guys, talking to more people. We got some games in the fun zone in there, some stuff that we can do. And then we're going to be starting having next month. It's going to be a lot more awards and giveaways. So right now, make sure you're active in there because you earn experience points every time you engage. Check out the other channels. We're reorganizing them a little bit more active in there. I'm going to start putting more of my trading analysis in the trading analysis tab. So we got the general chat. So you can call out whatever you want in the general chat, but I'm going to try to keep it more organized, more of the trading analysis in the trading analysis tab so people know where to go and just stay caught up on that and not necessarily all the back and forth on the general chat, what I'm looking at. So without further ado, let's jump right in these charts here. Okay, I know it's just now. What time is it exactly? Just a few minutes after 4 o'clock. Look at Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin on a 10-minute chart right now. Dead center of this resistance and support zone here, right? So it bounced off of this resistance right here, came back up, broke through, basically bounced off it, bounced exactly off the top. I had already drawn this line from way back, bounced off it again, and now we're just floating around here in the middle. All right, let me go back to the 1 hour chart. Actually, let's see the 4 hour chart. I want to go back and far enough and see what was going on here. You can see some consolidation here. Came all the way back up. This was an important level on the way up. I don't know who was trading during this time period, but I was deep in it. Bitcoin just went crazy, right? Went crazy up here. And I thought maybe we'd have a pullback. We ended up going higher. But you see, this was kind of an area. Clearly, we were bouncing off this kind of support zone right here. A lot of wicks below, but a lot of consolidation here. And then it sat on this line until it finally broke through, right? Now we're revisiting it. It did it again here, too. You see right here. We're revisiting it. We broke through, so we're in the little support zone. This is Bitcoin only. I gotta say it's been extremely strong. Now other coins have been strong. We're gonna get to the altcoins in a second, but this is what I'm looking at right here. Right now, the one time frame I'm trying to keep an eye on. It would take hours for it to come through, but this is the 4 hour chart, and I called this out in the Discord as well. You listen, if you guys aren't in any trades right now, that's totally fine, right? Sometimes it's better to sit it out. It's Friday. We're going into a wacky weekend again, third wacky weekend in a row, and anything could happen, especially with altcoins. So if you're going short altcoins, I suggest go short the ones that are bearish. Okay, that's what I'm doing, at least. It's not financial advice, but that's what I'm doing. I like to diversify, so maybe I'm not all of them are that bearish. I'm sometimes trying to catch a top on a volatile ticker that maybe it's looked like it's bullish to the upside because it went up so fast, but sometimes the bigger they come, the harder they fall, right? I proved that with AVAX. If you guys were watching, I think it was earlier this week, I had that AVAX trade that just crashed hard, right? I think it was Monday or something. And shout out to the chat too. Somebody said, who was that? A King's Mentality said that, the weekend pump and then late Sunday, Monday dump. That's what's been happening. Again, this happened last spring as well, where Saturday mornings, I'm telling you, if I tried to short anything before 11 o'clock, I was getting stopped out, right? So, that could happen again. We could see a dump tonight and then a pump tomorrow. Ain't no telling, right? So here we are, though. This is what I'm trying to look at here. This is what is forming, possibly, it hasn't happened yet, what could be a bearish divergence, okay? It's kind of started to form one right here in the 3 hour. You can look at the 2 hour as well. So this is, I'm gonna go like this to zoom it in, okay? So this is the oscillator on Market Cipher B. What's the oscillator? And then Market Cipher B is all of these indicators on here. They give you all of these things on Market Cipher, okay? And I have a discount code for Market Cipher as well, a referral code inside the description of this video. But here we go. So this is a wave. Oops, come on, line. This is a higher wave going lower, called similar to like the uneven butt cheeks. All right, I mean pretty much that's what it is. And if you look at the price was making a higher high. Okay. This is the 2 hours, not the daily or anything big, but 2 hours. You know, is somewhat legit if you're talking about a little cycle here. When I say cycle, a weekly cycle, if you will, for a potential return reversal. So price is making a higher high, and the oscillator starting to make a lower low. Now this is not a crazy lower momentum wave right here, but we have what's called an anchor wave and then a trigger wave. This potentially could start turning into a bigger case for, this is a 3 hour, and this is the 4 hour, bigger case for another bearish divergence here. If this, let's say, I mean, if this is my thesis here. Well, this is the bearish thesis, okay? If we get a bearish play here to the downside on this red tail, let's say it breaks through this lower level support. It might even just do one of these. It might not crash like that. It may just barely so like this. You'd be like, oh, it's coming back. And then do one of these, right? The little retrace. Or maybe it does make a wick down and then kind of come back up, and can't get over the hump and come down. That is my bearish thesis, and that is what I'm kind of trending towards, but I can't say that yet. It'll be probably one of those things that as soon as the live stream goes off, it'll be obvious. That's what keeps happening, right? As soon as the live stream goes off, it's obvious, right? So what I want to see here, though, is a red dot here. I will feel a lot more comfortable on my shorts if we get a red dot on this 4 hour before. Soon, like before this kind of, before you think it's going to happen. I hate when you think it's going to happen and then it's whoop. So we've got 51 minutes left. Like I said, right at the end of this, I keep on doing this live stream at the very, very last hour of the day. Okay. And then sometimes there's a lot of volatility right when the new crypto day starts, right? As UTC 0 will start right at 5 p.m. my time. So that happens sometimes. So maybe I'll go long enough and we'll see what happens after that, right? Like the next 15, we'll go like an hour and 15 minutes today and just see, just for the hell of it. But that is what I'm trying to see if that will happen. I got to zoom in a little bit to kind of see what's going on here, because when you just look at this, you don't learn a whole hell of a lot. You see it staying in price range. You only see 3 candles, just like if you only did the 8 hour. Okay, well, okay, we're dead center. It's not quite enough to tell me what's going on. Technically, we do have a red dot on the 8 hour, which is why a deep red dot on the 8 hour went way up here. 96.5 is the level of this red dot. That's deep. It tells you that momentum is strong to the upside. So just because it's deep doesn't mean it's going to turn right back around and go down. It just means momentum's strong. But in my experience, it means that when we finally do go down, you catch a pretty big move to the downside, which would make sense. You got this gigantic fair value gap here. That's, this is the 5-day average. It's way up there, So I would not be surprised if we caught a big move to the downside. Maybe not all at once like this. This was pretty damn big. But big enough to make a lot of money in a short, a lot of money in breakout prop or something like that, or Phemex if you lever up. So to me, the risk versus reward that I'm looking at is to the short side. Now, granted, I'm one of those people that after I see big pumps, I'm always anxious to short. However, I'm also always a little early, and I'm honest with you guys in the Discord, in the private group, because I don't necessarily, I want to be honest with you how high a conviction I have on a trade. I don't want you to jump in with me if I'm taking a higher risk than I normally would. But it's not even how can I say this? It's not necessarily how big of a risk it is. It's the timing, right? We're always about timing. You got to have bankroll management. You got to know your position sizing. And if you're going in early, you got to tell yourself, okay, look, if I'm early, am I going to be able to withstand a scam wick on whatever ticker I'm shorting? If we're talking the context if shorting for right now. We're going to talk about going long later. But if I'm shorting, because I see this red dot on Bitcoin, and I assume, which I said yesterday, there's usually a retrace on the 8 hour. The 8 hour red dot is not the end of the move, right? The dot might, the deep dot, the first dot is the dot that, okay, it's like the signal that, okay, the momentum to the direction you're going is moved. And this is exactly the same thought process I've done with you guys multiple times when I got into Bitcoin at 75K long, right? Same idea. You catch the first move, then there's a retrace, then it comes back, How high does it come? Not always that high. Not unless there's some extreme market volatility for some reason right now. If there was some crazy news, nothing that crazy has happened, and probably won't happen on Saturday. Maybe it happened on Sunday. They've been dropping news on Sunday lately. But like we still have the rest of Friday. But that happens, and then this happens, and then we didn't necessarily have to get a green dot here. You just get some price action on the way up, and then it comes back down again. That's my general thesis. When I'm looking for a larger trend change, weekly to weekly trend change, is usually looking for the 8-hour red dot, which we got, and then we got price higher, which is why it looks like a divergence on some of the lower time frames, right? Like eventually, anything that caught a green dot, I guess technically if it ever gets a red dot again, would be a divergence if it was not as high as this momentum wave, which I don't think it will be. Doesn't mean price can't go higher though. See, that's the thing. Just because you don't get a big ass wave right here doesn't mean price can't go higher. I mean, look, we got the 12-hour. It didn't get a red dot till here, but price proceeded to go straight up since then, right? Or at least angle to the upside, even though this is going down. But that's the kind of thing that happens, though. You get what I'm saying? That's what happens. We got a 90. The dot is at 93.7. That is a deep wave on the 12-hour. So I'm just like, I can't, to me, going long up here, if I was going to go long, it would have to be quick in and out. I'm hoping for like, you'd want to catch like the bottom of a 1-hour wave, something like that. Something like that on the 1-hour wave, so we can see like a quick move that might be overblown to the upside. But like you're looking for some big wick, like that wick I caught yesterday on, for everybody who saw it yesterday on my Twitter on Ondo, right? Like this wick or something like that. Like you playing the long to try to catch one of those big moves and you take profit. I'm not in the, especially not leverage trading, buy now and hold. I think these momentum waves are slowing down, and they're big momentum waves slowing down. This is Ondo just got another red dot here. You see what I'm saying? Like, it did go back up there and revisit it, so credit to anybody who held here and got out a little bit higher than where I got out, but it didn't make a new high. Let's see here. Now we go back to Bitcoin real quick. Oh, we got some people in the chat. What's up, Crypto Plumber? All right, let's see. Let me check the chat real quick. Yeah, it should be perfect for the Sunday sell-off, right, Andrew? Okay, Crypto Plumber. Since we pumped all week, I'm betting that, okay, we could consolidate, swing lower over the weekend. Not financial advice. Yeah, exactly. But with Bitcoin, you never really know. And if there ever was a time you don't really know, it's right now. Now, this is why I don't really know. Okay, I'm going to show you. These long, flat 12-hour waves don't make me feel great about rolling. I swear, it's something about the 12-hour wave. They go big and then they go flat. And then you get another pump. But the thing is, it's pointing down a little bit, right? I'm going to zoom in a little bit so we can see it. It is pointing down. It's not completely flat, but we are getting a little pump. At some point, enough is enough on the pump, and I'm wondering if it bounces off this resistance line, not this triangle, this diagonal. Actually, I could keep that line there. Actually, there's a little bit of a trend line there, actually. So let's keep that there. I kind of drew that trend line by accident. I was just trying to draw the divergence. But it bouncing off this resistance line, this is the 80% of the cake, and this is the 20% is the frosting. But the frosting still makes the cake real beautiful, right? So, like, these lines right here for resistance, they've been holding up. We'll see. They held up once. We'll see. So, but I was going to say, there's not a dot on the 1 day yet. Okay, I cannot be bearish as hell until we get a 1 day. So this is an unknown. The question is, will price drop enough to catch this 1 hour red dot and make everybody basically feel like, oh, momentum to the upside is down, and they'll have a little dead cat bounce? This is how this would look. What I kind of just explained earlier. How this would look would be, in order for this to get a red dot, just so you know, like, just going sideways ain't enough. For 1 day, it takes a while. It would have to go down. So price would have to dip, I don't know, maybe like to here. It wouldn't go straight down like that. It's crazy how when you move it, it won't give me a straight line when you go diagonal. But like something like this, which we'll call it tomorrow, like if it could come down that far tomorrow, right? In 1 day, just like one of these wicks, right? Or the day is going to start in, an hour or less than an hour. It could come down to like here. Even that wasn't that big of a wick, but maybe between the combination of this day and then the beginning of this, somewhere down right here, maybe a little bit farther, is when this could potentially turn this to a red dot. It takes a lot, is my point. It takes a lot to make the daily look like we're going to have some negative price action. So that's not going to happen in like right away unless we just have some massive sell-off, okay? So we're going to kick around here for a while. Now, in the meantime, if you haven't entered any positions yet, and let's say if we're still talking short here, let's say you think we're going to go short, right? It's kind of my bias right now. I'm not saying we're right on time. We might be early. It could be like this was the top. It could be But we also could kick around this for God knows how long, like all weekend even, you know? So it's like I said, we could do this. We could definitely do this all weekend before it comes through. You know, and then like the Monday, Sunday sell-off, or like you said. But what could also happen is in the meantime, you catch that scam win, right? Which is what always happens, it seems like. So it's hard to sell right here, right now, to short right here, right now. I've got shorts open. I went in too early. I'll tell you right now. I usually always do, but I'm working on that. But basically, I'm giving you guys a word of caution on it, because what ends up happening is you get one of these and then straight back down again. You see what I'm saying? And the thing is, the altcoins, though, they react kind of late sometimes. That being said, it depends on what altcoin. They're not all working in lockstep right now, right? You know, Virtual's been real bullish. It likes to go up high. Ethereum is doing what Ethereum does, kind of flat. Looks like a little bit stronger than it has in the past, though. You know, let's see. Good old Degen had its. I took my profit down here. My Degen short, I'm not mad at it because it came all the way back. That was a good one. Also, the same thing I did on here, which was a good one because it came all the way back. Jumped in it again. I'm a little bit early here. Nice to see the red dots because I'm shorting right now. Notcoin all of a sudden. Why the hell is Notcoin the strongest coin in the market? I don't know. It's relentless. It'll probably fall like a rock. But the point is, you'll get stopped out before it falls. You see what I'm saying? So if you're going to short one of these altcoins, you got to either watch it. So I don't like setting limit buys at a time like this on this volatile, like, unless the best time to set a limit buy is if you're looking for a pullback and you can't watch it. Technically, we're not really bearish yet. You know what I'm saying? This is the daily. If you set a limit buy here, like it either be hella high, maybe where this line is. Like this is just an alert, though. This is not a limit buy. This is alerts me. So if you ever, for those who don't know, to set an alert on TradingView, you just click the little plus symbol here, and you click on alert, and it'll draw a line like that. Whatever level you want, and then if you want to move it, you can grab it and move it up and down like that. So anyways, that alert, instead of actually putting a limit buy there, I have an alert to tell me if this ticker goes crazy, Notcoin, the greatest crypto of all, Notcoin. If it decides to go this high, I'm going to seriously look at loading up a pretty epic short. I don't see it breaking out hella far above this. But it kind of depends on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin turns on and drops, it'll probably drop. If Bitcoin just hovers, decides to do the sideways thing, coins like Notcoin will probably still keep going higher. So you try to short them too early, you might get stopped out. And it happens. It happens. But this is why you got to have a stop loss. You don't want to chase this average down, average down, average down. It's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to lose all your money. So this is why I always say, like, you know, if you're going to scalp, you know, you don't fight the 10-minute green dot, or in this case, it'd be red dot, green dot, whatever one, you know what I'm saying? If you're trying to go short, you don't want to fight the 10-minute green dot. If you're looking for a longer swing, you're trying to catch the top of this move, which is kind of where I am right now, because I don't really want to scalp to the upside, even though that's with the trend, because it could end anytime. So I'd rather sit out the scalping right now, and I'm waiting. But you got to set either use the proper amount of leverage combined with your proper position size to say, okay, if this is going to go higher, you know, let's say enter right here, right now, I got to have enough space. Look, this is where this comes in, okay, this thing. Let's see. Oh, no, that's it. The same on the side. This one here. So this is where this thing comes in. And I'll be going long. We want to go short now. Where you'd be like, okay, if I went in here, it went like this, and you have to kind of determine where you want to put your actual stop loss, right? Like maybe it's something like this. It's actually kind of works. Not bad like that, right? You might be, say, we'll call it down here. This would be a 2-to-1 risk versus reward if you were to enter this right here. You know, where if it went out above this and stop, I would like to be above the last wick high. So that is where I would like to get this just above there. For me, this is how I would like it. But this is also I wouldn't really want to end right here. You're not getting a great risk to reward. Enter right here. You're not getting a great risk to reward. Something like Notcoin could definitely shoot up higher and shoot up higher fast, especially if Bitcoin decides to go long. You could drop this down to make it more bang for your buck, but then you're hoping it goes farther. So for me, I'd probably be waiting and watching. That's why I have the alert here to tell me, all right, enough's enough. That being said, you got to be careful trying to short one of these coins that have recently been so bullish. And that's why I like looking at Ethereum or something that is just not that strong. We got another one, APT. Not that strong. Right now I'm in this one. I'm taking a chance here. I'm in this one in breakout prop. So anyways, that's what I'm looking at. Some of these ones are moving a little bit slower, and we're looking at multiple red dots here on the 8 hour. If we can just get this to roll over, maybe it'll run out of gas. See how it's been going sideways? It's not, a lot of coins have been going up and it's not showing me a lot of strength. Doesn't mean it can't break out to the upside if Bitcoin goes up, but if Bitcoin keeps doing the sideways chop, I have reason to believe it will keep doing the sideways chop until it's time to roll over. That's what I'm looking at. Okay, check out Sol on a 4 hour bearish div. Let's take a look real quick. I missed another chat there from Crypto Plumber. Next week we have a few red, few red folders. Oh, non-farm payrolls. So there's some news, basically, is what he's saying next week. So, okay, so this is what I feel about news. This is a good question. In general, right, the beginning of an administration or whatever, like this time period, at first, the news was on its edge. Everything that was said, then the price would go crazy, one direction or the other. I think as time goes on, even though this is not like presidential news, it's economic news. I think that the news has less of a sudden impact, if you will. You get what I mean? Now, granted, if the non-farm payrolls is like some crazy number or way different than expected, then yeah, the markets are going to react upon it. If you're trading around news events, I kind of want to make a video about this. It's because it's kind of like trading at the open of the market. Everything matters on time frame, but you gotta have risk management built into it. The reason why I don't like trading on news events, and this is, somebody asked me about a news event the other day when I was in a ticker and we pumped and trying to figure out why. He's like, oh, well, they had some news on that coin. And the reason why I used to always check the news, and I'm watching, just so you know, by the way, anybody who's new, if you're on, what's this called, TradingView, you click here and then they have news stories pop up. Now, Bitcoin always has hell of them, but when you're in some of the smaller tickers, they will give you some obscure, there may not be news very often, so you can see APT, let's see if there's any news on there. 3 days ago, 7 days ago, 7 days ago. So it's not news every day on some of those smaller ones. You can find about token unlocks and stuff like that. But I want to say that basically, show me a chart and I'll tell you the news, right? There's some truth to that. And this is what I find. Okay, I'm glad you said that. So when it comes to the news, this is the problem. Just because there's a news event, even if I can guess the direction based on the news, let's say I guess correctly, non-farm payrolls will be higher than expected, and then price will do this. Let's say I guess up or down correctly. You still don't really know how far price is gonna go. That's the problem. So it never really, it doesn't really tell you, if it does this amount, for example, if you beat earnings by 5%, then we're gonna get a 10% move, and if you beat earnings by 25%, you're gonna get a 25%. Nobody really knows. So that's why news events, I looked at so much stuff in trading over the past 5 years, you guys, 6 years of both stock markets, TradFi, and then also crypto, that I realized, I'm like, look, there's a million indicators, news events, and all these things that you can take them as nuggets of information. But when it comes down to rubber meets the road, how do I trade off of it? It's a bunch of gray area sometimes news, sometimes information. And that, to me, I don't want to be in a sometimes business, which is why I always say this is not a sometimes thing, the momentum is doing this on the 1 hour or it ain't. You get what I'm saying? And the lower the time frame, the more accurate it is, which is why I ultimately do better scalping, because you're not going to get some crazy price action against you when you gotta, if this dot turned green, prices are going to just keep going down. This always means price started going up. You get what I'm saying? This is not sometimes information, okay? Whereas all the other stuff is sometimes price will bounce off this line, but this time it went through it, but then it decided to come back. You get what I'm saying? And the news is kind of the same way. Last time we beat earnings and the price went up, 10%. And the next time you beat earnings and the price dropped. Or maybe you beat earnings 3 times in a row and then it didn't work out. Or Bitcoin hit this, it hit resistance here 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. Woohoo! I drew the correct resistance. I hit it again, and then boom, broke through, and now I'm stopped out. You get what I'm saying? So it's I hate being a sometimes trader, which is why I lean so heavily on this first, and then maybe you look for confluence on the other things. So back to this one, and I've been saying this for years. Show me the chart, and I'll show you the news. I don't believe that 100%. Okay, I really don't. That's the purest TA guys think that their TA is always right. It's it's their gospel. So I don't really argue with them about that. However, there is such a thing as overbought and oversold, and the market is just waiting for some catalyst to kick it over, whatever that may be, to the upside, to the downside. And you can kind of feel that sentiment sometimes. And as a matter of fact, I called it out in the Discord, I think it was last week, where I said, price is kicking around here. It seems like they're just waiting for the other shoe to drop. And then Trump announced the tariff things and everything popped. I said, that's exactly what I literally had called it like 2 hours before. Because remember, he didn't announce this until like 10. Remember when he said, now's a good time to buy on Twitter? And it was like, I called that like right when the market opened. I think it was like 5 or 6 in the morning. One of the days I woke up hella early. And I was like, price is just kicking around. Everybody's waiting for the next news event. And then boom, the news hit. So was that like based upon the charts? Well, somewhat. It was based on the momentum waves, based upon general sentiment. Price action tells you a lot. I mean, I really do get a lot just by looking at the candles. Like straight up, I do it on Breakout prop also, just, because I'm so zoomed in on the 1 minute. Like I'm looking at the candles and I'm just like, the way the wicks are looking and price action moving on the 1 minute. But like you can start like consolidation, you can kind of feel it. You know what I'm saying? You can kind of feel it. And then eventually a news catalyst comes in a direction that it was due to come in. And then boom, things pop out like that. So, that's my approach on news. You can't, like non-farm payrolls. Let me ask you a question. If they come in hot, what does that mean for the market? And even if you guessed it correctly, when and how would you enter and where would you exit based on that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of hard, All right on. I'm glad you appreciate what I'm saying, Crypto Plumber. Yeah, it's hard to quantify is all I'm saying when it comes to now, you want to be cognizant of it. Listen, you guys, I watch this shit all day, every day. So, like, for me, probably because I watch it so damn much, I have a little bit different of a perspective than someone who doesn't have time to watch it all the time. What's up, Henry? What's poppin', Henry? Someone like Henry right here, man, you have to work during the day or something. You know what I mean? He can't watch all the news all the time. And maybe that's why, and certainly people, that's why, like, for example, we were just looking at Randy Hipper. She reports the news every day. A lot of crypto influencers report the news every day because people don't have time to watch all this shit all day long like we do. So we need those people who report the news. Now, someone like me, I don't do a lot of quote unquote reporting the news, partially because that's like, I don't think people turn to me for that. Maybe if I wanted to make that more my brand, I could. But to me, being a newscaster every single day is kind of a lot of work. You're constantly chasing and, the television producer is hard, a lot of work. And honestly, there's a lot of people who do it better than I do, So I watch them. And that's why you always see me giving credit to somebody else because they're the ones I'm learning the game from and then I'm tapping on you guys. For me, I like teaching the technical analysis stuff because I got my own kind of approach to it, own strategy that I think is different than a lot of folks. And I want to give insights to people who don't always have I find that a lot of TA guys say they teach the same shit over and over again. I've seen, I don't know how many man hours of TA I've watched in the past since 2020, okay? And it's like, you got support and resistance, and this and that, and they teach the same. There's so many things, and I just kind of step back and I go, that shit ain't a difference maker, bro. And they all say they're 86% correct, and they play the probabilities and all that shit, and I'd be like, the difference maker to me is the momentum down here, and then the other shit is what hits on. So that's why I'm always harp on this. And then the reason, what's going on, Kalichi? The reason that anybody's strategy may or may not work is because they have good risk management. I don't care what strategy you got, you have to have the discipline to say, I'm cutting my losses when I'm wrong, right? I'd rather be rich than right. So that's kind of the thing that is kind of like the gloss over it when people say their strategy works. Anytime you look at someone else's strategy, ask them, like, not ask them, you can't ask them, you can ask them, but like, pay attention to the part of their strategy that involves the risk management, like their protection to the downside or the opposite way of what their thesis is, right? Like, you got to have a bullish or bearish thesis, right? Obviously, you're guessing up or down, right? Which is the beautiful thing, by the way, we're only guessing up or down. And the reason I bring that up is because if you were to trade options, for example, in the stock market, which I made a lot of money trading options, so there's nothing wrong with it, but you have a time frame on that as well. What we're trading, just for anybody who might not fully understand this, Henry, I know you're kind of new to this. When we're trading on Phemex, we're trading what's called perpetual contracts. They're futures contracts and they're perpetuals. That's why at the top of Phemex, you click on the bar that says futures and then you find your contract. And there's other stuff on there. I don't even trade all that other stuff, but it's a contract that is perpetual. So there's people who trade futures like commodities futures and stuff. They have a date, like a time stamp on them. Same with options. So like time is running out on you and the value of that contract is going down as time is against you. To me, that is a harder play. That's not just guessing up or down, because you can actually guess right if for the direction of your stock, but you still lose money because, quote unquote, the value of your contract dropped because of implied volatility or IV crush and all this other shit. For me, leverage trading crypto is like hella straightforward. That's why I like it. It's, I'm still just betting on up or down. Okay. So, again, I'm trying to make this simple. So all the indicators and all the other things that sometimes make sense or sometimes don't make sense, I kind of said, you know what? I'm doing a full reset and I'm stripping everything down to the bare bones for the things that I believe do matter. And then we have a couple things layered on top. This matters. Okay. Down here matters. I'm never going to stop harping. Price, for whatever reason, price runs in trends. It just does, man. It's momentum. That's just how it works. I love the fact that we have an indicator that measures it. You get what I'm saying? And maybe you have something else that measures it too. Maybe there's other stuff out there I don't know about. It's possible. But something down here showing me direction is my first priority. Then I'm kind of guessing on where I think it'll stop based upon technicals and volume or, whatever's been a lot of volatility that leads, consolidation points, whatever the case may be, trend lines. That's secondary. That's 20%, not 0%. It's 20%. I just think this is 80%. So that's my take on all of that. That was kind of a mouthful, but I mean, after 5 or 6 years of doing this shit, I've landed on keep it simple, stupid. You guys ever heard KISS? Keep it simple, stupid. To me, and I've seen some of the advanced trading classes talk about this as well. I've seen videos on this. Guys, mostly TradFi stuff, but like this guy's like, he was in a big classroom. He was in a big ass classroom with a big blackboard, and he was like, "You guys have this indicator, this indicator, this indicator, this indicator." All of a sudden, you get all these false signals. He's like, and he just took the eraser and he erased all of it. He's like, "Forget all of this. Support, resistance," and he turns to class. That's all you need. And I understand his pain. It's like, man, like this is the thing. A lot of people who trade, we're like smart people, right? Like we want to learn everything. We think we're going to find the perfect formula. All you need to do is combine this plus this plus this plus this. And then when this happens, boom, you enter, and then you're going to win every time. It just doesn't work that way. I wish there was a simple formula, which is why I don't ever use the word formula to talk about my strategy. It's more of a system that works with risk management built into it. So just in case you're wrong or the system deviates or it's an anomaly or whatever you want to call it, bad luck, you're not getting wrecked. So then you can live to fight another day. That's basically it. And even today, and this is another one too. I got to mention this. I know a lot of you guys use Breakout Prop. On Breakout Prop, I thought of a strategy. I'm going to make a video on this. And I want to mention this because I told you guys yesterday, the announcement was that I'm not going to be doing daily live streaming anymore. I've really got to focus on creating some evergreen content because I'm getting a lot of requests. And I have all these ideas in my head. My list is just growing and growing. I just don't have time. It takes me more than an hour to do the live stream, right? I got to make the thumbnail. I got to prepare. It takes me too much time to get ready sometimes. So I'm cutting back on it. I want to provide a banger of a show every Sunday at noon. And I want to give more rewards and think of more ideas to support the people who support me in the private Discord and engage with me on the chat, that kind of stuff. So that's why I really want to have one home run show once a week. That's what I'm going for on Sundays. That's why this is my last weekday show until further notice, but Sundays at noon is what I'm going to start doing. But in the meantime, I want to make some banger videos for you guys. I'll put them in the Discord. I'll put them on my YouTube channel. And I thought of a strategy, more of like a guideline strategy for Breakout Prop. I know a lot of people get breached on Breakout Prop. And I want to be like, okay, look, let me break this down simply. I'm going to make a video, but let me tell you the video idea I had. So Breakout Prop, you get $100,000 to trade with if you buy an $800 evaluation. So whenever I speak about Breakout Prop, I always speak in the $100,000 terms, easy math, etc. If you lose 4% in a day, you'll get breached. Or if you lose an overall 6%, you'll get breached, okay? So this is one idea I just came up with today. And maybe you guys in the chat will tell me if this sounds like something that worked for you if you're a Breakout Prop user. If you did 3 trades a day, we'll just call it 3 trades a day or maybe 1 trade over 3 days. Let's call it the first day you did 3 trades. Maybe you have 3 tickers or maybe you did 3 trades. But if you set your stop loss at negative $1,000 and your take profit at positive $2,000, that is a 2-to-1 risk versus reward ratio. Or I guess it'd be 1-to-2 risk versus reward ratio, meaning that if you lost, you lose 1 unit, $1,000, and if you win, you gain 2 units, $2,000. If you did that 3 times and you lost all 3 trades, right? You went negative $3,000 for the day, you're done for the day, right? So now you did not lose more than your 4% in one day, right? Now, day 2 starts. You're back at it again. Now, you're negative $3,000. So you can only go negative another $3,000, right? Because you'd be negative 6, you'll be breached. But now you got a full new day now. Because if you try to do 4 in one day and you lost all 4, then you'd be breached and you'd be kind of like leaving $2,000 on the table, right? So 3 limits, cut yourself off, you're done for the day. You're out. 3 strikes, you're out. Maybe that's what I'll call it. 3 strikes, you're out strategy, okay? This is a bankroll management strategy. It's not about TA so much or about like any sort of actual trading strategy, just bankroll management strategy. Day 2, same thing. You got 3 trade setups where you lose $1,000. You have a stop loss set at -1,000, positive 2,000. If you lose all 3 of those, that means you lost 6 trades in a row, and now you're breached. But let me tell you something right now. If you lose 6 trades in a row, then something is wrong with your TA. You get what I'm saying? You're missing the mark somewhere. You're working in haste somewhere. Something's not right. You kind of got to go back to the drawing board if you lose 6 trades in a row, in my opinion. That's how I'm looking at it, especially just a 2-to-1 ratio. I'm not saying go for a home run, a 4-to-1, 5-to-1, or even a 3-to-1. 2-to-1 ratio. Something is not right. We gotta go back to the drawing board, look at market Cipher B or whatever your strategy you're using for that. If you lose a 2-to-1 3 times in a row, there's a problem. 6 times in a row, there's a problem. Now, if you win that stuff, if you do win those, even half the time, you're rich forever, right? Because you're only losing 1 unit, but you're gaining 2 every time. So like if you even lose 2 and gain 1, you're at break even. You'd lose 2,000 and win 2,000. You're break even for the day. So all you got to do is win 2 out of 3 one of the days. You know what I'm saying? And you're net positive as time goes on. The point being is you're setting that stop loss at -$1,000. It's a hard stop and you're done. You get what I'm saying? So that way, no matter what, you're not getting breached all in one day. No matter what, you're not going more than 4% in one day. That is the basic premise of the strategy I was kind of thinking. Can you say something in the chat if that strategy kind of makes sense to you guys if you trade breakout prop? You can't lose 4,000 a day, so you're cutting yourself off at 3,000. And you're not chasing, you're not averaging down, you're not doing anything weird that's going to screw you up. I just want to try to get people level set here so they stop getting breached. You got to have it because you can do 3 trades at -1% each trade, plus 2%, and you're in the game. You could just do that strategy. I mean, I might just start doing that strategy. Now that I think about it, I'm like, that's just so straightforward, cut and dry. If my TA is good, then eventually I'm going to start hitting. You get what I'm saying? Breakout needs a long, short drawing tool. Okay, so here's the thing, Andrew. In Breakout, you actually can open up TradingView. If you want to use TradingView inside Breakout prop, I don't because, of course, I have all my custom settings and stuff inside on my own TradingView. But you can do that and then draw that way. The TA on the on the actual charts of their Phemex or whatever, I don't really ever utilize that stuff very much. Okay, thanks, Cleach. It kind of makes sense. I'm glad. Yeah, this is really just a bankroll management thing, so you can tell yourself enough's enough. Like, this is my strategy. This is my discipline. This is my discipline is what that is. Because that way you're never, at least you don't blow all of it in one day and then mess it up for the future, for the next day, right? Because why do I want to blow up my account for -$4,000 when I have -$6,000 to do it? It's a little bit tricky. It's the one way that kind of breakout prop kind of gets you, but I get it. They're trying to stop people being hella reckless all in one trade. You feel me? So -3%, 3 trades that each go -1%, or by the way, feel free to go less than -1%. You don't have to make it not -1,000. You could do 6 trades -500, whatever you want to do. I'm just saying you got to draw that line so that you're not losing more than 3,000 a day. The reason why I say 3 trades instead of 1 trade at -3% and positive, plus 9% is because that is it's a much bigger move, and you're relying on all in one trade. I'm trying to diversify the amount of trades, so now you only got to hit a certain amount before it starts averaging out in your favor. That's basically, it's just a math game. And the point I'm trying to drive home here really is that the actual trading strategy is not what matters for longevity. It's the bankroll management strategy is what matters for longevity. You get what I'm saying? So I can tell you that my scalping strategy works and I love it so much, and you get out before the 10-minute green dot and all that shit. But like, whatever strategy somebody wants to give you, it's got to have some sort of place that says get out of the trade if it goes against you. The moment it goes, in my sense, you could be green actually and still get out the moment it goes against you. But like, the point is, you don't want to keep chasing and averaging down. That's how you get breached. It just happens. I've been breached before. I mean, it happens, and then also because, it's a hell of a thing. I don't trade Bitcoin and Ethereum that much. Right on, Al said. I'm glad you appreciate that. I don't trade Bitcoin and Ethereum that much just because I like the little shit coins with the smaller fees and stuff. But I've been recently trading Ethereum because it was like such an easy, such an obvious short, you know what I mean? It's like a safe short usually on Ethereum. But it's so interesting, man. That 5x leverage make a difference, man. I'm like, oh, I'm not even using that much money on this trade. And you're like, whoa, look, the dollar amounts move kind of fast. I'm like, oh, it's hundreds of dollars in the blink of an eye, you know? So, you know, it does take some getting used to. Someone in the Discord said they're going to sign up for Breakout Prop with my discount code. Remember, you get a discount if you use a GGRF7W on your evaluation on the exit. And I said, look, this is my opinion, my approach. What I always do is I want to get to 100 grand every time. And if you want to start small, start small. I don't give a damn if you do a $100 trade. I'd rather do, 1/10 of 1% and learn it than have a $5,000 or $10,000 account and then like everybody always wants a bigger position after that, right? You get a little taste, you get a couple wins, you want a bigger position, and before you know it, you're using your whole bag, and then one false move, you get breached. You get what I'm saying? I'd rather get a $100,000 account, start small, and then go up a little by little, and then you're learning your ticker because that underlying leverage will screw you up too. You're not used to it. That 5x leverage on Ethereum. Even I was like, whoa, what the hell? I'm not used to it. I'm used to trading altcoins, which give you plenty of volatility, but they're only 2x leverage built in. So, start small, and then you start growing from there. All right, let's see the word. Risk reward management. Yeah, separates profitable traders from unprofitable, especially long term, right? Yeah, and taking profit helps also, right? And that's what I'm saying. If you're having trouble watching the things in real time, which is of course hard just because of time management, just life. But let's just say that discipline's hard for you. You find yourself cheating and breaking the rules in your own strategy or whatever the case may be. Then do what I told you also, and you can walk away. Some people, it's better that they just set their trades and walk away with their down, right? Remember, you use this thing. I don't know why I keep on doing it. They look the same on here. You use this thing, and then you set it and forget it. That's what a lot of people do, and they don't even work. I remember there was a guy. Did he say how much money he makes a year? A few million bucks a year, a trader. He's like, wake up in the morning. I go over, I do my setups. They're done by 9 a.m. Then I spend the rest of the day with my kids. He said, and I don't remember if he said how much money he made. I think he said he makes a few grand or whatever. But think about it. If you made a few grand on a few trades, you made like 10,000 every morning, bro, you're a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? Even on the ones he lost, like over time, right? Over time, it adds up, right? So that's what I'm saying. Let's see. So just if you guys want to use this tool, it's over here. I keep on click on this, and you'll see there's a long position, short position. This is the short position one. I need to put this up here. And then, when I start it like that, some of the people, Henry, who might be new for TradingView, I started right here. It shows up on your shortcuts list up here. Okay. So this will tell you, when you put this over here, it'll show your ratio. See how this is about 3-to-1, which you just eyeball, you can kind of tell this is like 1 unit, and this is about 3 of those units here. But you can double click it, and then you can type in the information, your exact entry, and then where you want to take profit and where you want your stop loss level to be at, right? And that's, we call that, my original one was kind of conservative. I just said 2-to-1, just so you'll win some more trades. 3-to-1 can be harder to hit consistently than you guys might think. 2-to-1 is a hell of a lot easier than 3-to-1 to hit consistently. I'm gonna keep it real with you. You could, some people, I talked to Crypto Lifer, and he told me, he's like, I don't really do less than 2.5 to 1, or he goes 2.5 to 1 or 3-to-1 or bigger. He don't even do 2-to-1. Some people don't fuck around with that low amount. They like, either I see a high conviction play or I'm not entering. Credit to them, right? Like, you don't gotta trade. You know what I'm saying? Wait until you think you're high commit. Like, someone might have waited for Bitcoin to hit this support, and they entered way up here. So now this is what it would look like for them. Like, it would be right here is where that would be, and they would be able to go. Come on, blue dot. If they did a 2-to-1, well, shit, even just down in this trading range is a 2.7-to-1, right? Let's see. Yeah, risk versus reward is 2.79. So look, someone caught the top of this, and they already just cleaning up, and or you're scalping in here in a trading range as well. But my point is, you do this a few times, and then you do this a few times, and eventually, you start winning. You know what I'm saying? Like, eventually, all I need to do is win this 2 out of 3 times, I'm rich forever. You know what I'm saying? If I win it 50% of the time, I'm rich forever. You get what I'm saying? So don't be afraid to use that. I just don't use it because it's cumbersome. You see, I'm dicking around with it on here. But it's nice because they do the math and shit for you. That's very nice. That's very nice. So that's what helps you with the bankroll management. And that's why my point is, no offense to anybody's trading strategy or anything like that, but like, Long term, the reason they're winning is because when their thesis is wrong, they're cutting their losses, and when they're right, things move in trends, and usually they hit that 3-to-1 or even bigger sometimes. You just hit it sometimes. This is how it be. I'm looking at a ticker like this. Let's see what the hell this is, right? Like, this is a big one. If we enter here and caught this freaking move, 3.67 to 1. This ticker's volatile as hell, so you definitely want to give yourself some space. It's conceivable. Look how much this ticker's moved. You know what I'm saying? But let me tell you, it moves fast. So when you're in breakout proper in Phemex, what you have to do is make sure you're doing your math and make sure you're saying, okay, if I want to use 10x leverage on a ticker this volatile, maybe 10x ain't enough. Because it'll tell you. When you go to enter, it'll tell you what your actual stop loss is. Let me see real quick. So let's say I go to here. So then, can you guys see that? All right. So now, you do protection order. We want to set, let's say we'll call it limit. Well, even if you didn't do limit, just mark it, right? You set a stop loss. You can set here. So there's pips, which is like, it's like ticks. Then there's a projected loss or percent of, okay, if you want to do percent of balance, you can do that. That's how you can do it, I guess, in breakout. Proper percent of balance would be just 1%. You can do that. But let's just say projected loss would be, I don't know, $50. No, we'll just call it $100. Projected loss would be $100. And then your take profit would be $300. Come on. And now they put in the price. They put it in down here. So let's see. Okay, so 5.63 is where we get stopped, and 5.23 is where we'd win. We'd lose 100, or we'd gain 3. That's 3-to-1. What ticker is this? AP. Okay, so let me see. So if we did that here, let's do this thing. Boom. If we're going to do it about right here. Let's see. And then it said 5.633. 5.634. So let me pull back on TradingView. So 5.634, right? So I got to look on this. You could double click this. Let's see. So 5.634, where's stop loss at? So that's like here. So that's where that stop loss is. And then you see this is a 2.61. We want to make it say 3. You just drag this down till you reach 3. And now it's 3.02, whatever. I'm just double checking the profit levels is 5.2333. And on breakout prop, I'll show you guys. It was 5.235. Yeah, so that's what it would be, right? And that would be, this is what this move would look like on TradingView. This ticker we just looked at on breakout prop, right? If we did this trade setup here, it would look like this on TradingView. Now let's take a look at it. And by the way, you can right click on it to lock it. Right here. So now I can grab the screen and it won't move all over the place, which is annoying. And then I didn't even make it exactly perfect, but you would double click it and you would put in your exact entry right here and then your exact take profit and all that shit, right? So now, boy, when you look at this just to the naked eye, right, with your technical analysis, right, where your lines are drawn and whatnot, is this conceivable? Is this possible? Well, yeah. I would sit there and tell you yes. I would like this. This is a little bit lower. If it was at the orange line, it'd be great. This is a little bit down. It would be nice for me if I could get this above here. So this is what you could do this. You could do this. Okay, this is how you adjust it. Actually, this is exactly how you adjust it. All right. So pay attention, anybody who's kind of new right now. This is definitely how you adjust it. So we want to say, but look, I want my stop loss to be above this final wick, not below it. I would hate. Right? You would hate to get scam wicked, right? You'd hate for that to happen and then you lose. And it goes like that, right? So check this out. This is how you do it. First, we're gonna do it on TradingView. Now we have a rough area we want to do. So we would fix it here. We would raise this. Are they going to do it against lock? Let me see. They won't. Okay, gotta unlock it. Gotta unlock it. All right. Unlock it. All right. So I gotta go a little bit above it, right? I just gotta get above that blue line. Okay? Which is where I know that ticker is. That blue right here on Market Cipher B and Market Cipher A shows me that's it. So I got a little bit above that line, right? Just in case of a scam wick, okay? French toaster in the house. What's popping? All right, so now that we got that there a little bit higher, now what happened though? We lost some of our 3-to-1 right here, right? We lost some of that. You either say, okay, that's all right. I'll do a 2.65 to 1. That's fine. Or then you pull this down a little bit. We want to get that 3-to-1, and we're like, ooh, where's 3-to-1? 3-to-1 is right here. Boy, right at this. That's about as perfect you're going to get on this one, right? Like, that is a conceivable trade. You're basically giving back everything that it gained since Tuesday. Now, will this happen all in one day? I doubt it, right? This is a volatile ticker, you can see, but it could do. Let me lock it real quick, and then I'm gonna go back to breakout prop, and I'm gonna show you what we would do. So then we would, right? This will come, and maybe it'll do one of these. This is a crazy ticker, and you hit it. If this is Tuesday, right? It'd take all the way till next Tuesday before it hits. Conceivable. That could happen if this is truly the top of the trend. What I'm trying to look at here on this 8 hour, you know what I'm saying? Oops. This 8 hour right here, this is a conceivable trade, right? This 8 hour here, let's see, we got a 12 hour red dot, not quite yet. You get what I'm saying? That could happen. This would probably take a little bit longer. Now that we're zoomed here. So you could take this and you could expand this longer, by the way. Actually, let me go like this real quick. Now that we're on a better time frame. You could take this and you go like this, okay? So now we could lock it again. And I got to go back to breakout prop. So I'm not quite done yet, right? So we see. We're going to say, oh, don't get me off this. What are you doing? What are you doing there, buddy? We're going to go here, and we're going to go like this, right? Maybe it does one of these, does some crazy stuff, and then boom. That's the thought, right? And or actually, you know what it might do? Let me tell you what it might do. It might do this, okay? That's what it might do, and one of these, and then like that, right? If you look at this side, that's conceivable, right? It could do one of these, right? Fine, you win the trade, right? I damn near want to answer that right now. Okay, but this is my point though. But now that messed up our money. In breakout prop. So this is what you do, right? I want to click on this. Let's say we can let's just put in our prices, right? Our take profit. I'm just gonna literally just copy and paste it. Okay, I'm gonna copy it here. I'm gonna go to breakout prop. I'm gonna put it. That was what the take. Hold on, what was that? Was that the take profit? That was the take profit up top, right? So if I did the take profit now instead of the money, I can come here. I'll go price, paste that in. Boom. Let me go back to here. That was the take profit. Now we got to do the stop loss. We're just going to copy. Come back. Remember, this is moving a little bit so the entry is a little bit different. But I'm going to show you something here in 1 second. Price. Paste. Okay, so look. Now you can see. It would be a minus $115 loss and a $336 gain. Okay, roughly that's cool. However, though, but bro, my thesis, my discipline tells me I don't want to lose more than $100 though, right? Depending on however big you think. I only want to lose $100. Okay, now you got to lower your position size. Okay, this is the thing right here. Yeah, you wanted to trade 1,000 lots, but you can't afford to lose more than 114 is too much. Remember, you only wanted to lose $100, and it's moving a little bit because price is moving, right? But that's where you come in here and you say, okay, I can do a smaller amount of money. There we go. 900 lots gives me what I want. You see what I'm saying? So that's how we formulated that trade between breakout prop and trading view. I never done this before on a live stream. I'm kind of glad we did because in my brain, this is kind of shit I take for granted, to be honest with you, right? Like I've done it so many times. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do, my level, this and that. And or I'm not even using price charts. I'm using the momentum waves and shit. But this, I'm glad we did this because this was a good exercise even for me. So now I can say, look, if my discipline is I only want to lose $100, like I know that like based upon I kind of had to work backwards, right? All the way back to what size position do I want? Because you have to do the same thing on Phemex as well, right? You might say, oh, I like trading 10x leverage. But then when you put in $1,000, your stop loss is not above. Remember, because the problem was the stop loss wasn't high enough. Remember, we couldn't get over this wick. It wasn't good, right? So we then had to adjust this, just to make it perfect. And then we could go back and say, okay, well, maybe I got to do 9x leverage on this one. Or maybe instead of $1,000, I can only do $900. Whatever the case may be, that's sometimes your position size is now being adjusted on the back end as opposed to I can afford $1,000. Well, if I can only afford to lose $100, and based on this leverage and based on this price range, I got to lower my position amount. And the reason we were talking in the example was breakout prop because of the fact that you'll get breached if you go you go down more than 4% in a day. So that was exactly how you did it. If anybody needs to watch this again, we got to record it, okay? That's set up right there. How far are we into the live stream? So I can say we need to check this. I damn near want to pull this out and make a video and post it on my my YouTube channel. What time is it? What time did we start this little example and then end it? It's 4:56 right now. I don't know. It took me like 10 minutes or something like that. So 4:45, something like that, we'll call it. And I want to go back, and I might even have my editor pull that part out. Because the way you do that math and stuff is not hard, but like it does take a couple hoops you want to jump through to make sure that your protection for the downside is actually set. Does anybody have any questions on that in the chat? Does that kind of make sense? Let's say, okay, so all said, that would kill me 3 days or 4 days waiting for the price to go down. me too, man. Although, remember that Jasmine trade a couple of weeks ago? That's what I did. That shit hit. Actually, it didn't. It was about 4 days. This one, though, I'm not even mad at this. I'm actually in this short right now. I'm in it. I'm probably in it a little early, but this is one of those tickers that didn't pump like crazy and everything else did. So I'm I'm confident. It doesn't mean it can't pump. It just means that it's working for me so far, right? A lot of other tickers have done some weird shit where like price went up like this, and this one stayed solid. So I'm still in this one. I'm good. Makes sense. All right, Kings of Mentality. I'm glad it made sense. Yeah, because my main goal here is to protect everybody's bags, right? We don't want to get breached. We don't want to get wrecked. And I know people are getting wrecked in breakout prop or breached. Now, granted, one of the things I like about breakout prop is that when you do get breached, you don't like lose any additional money, right? Breakout prop, your downside risk is calculated at the beginning. And then if you use my discount code, then you save this a little bit of money at the beginning. You know exactly how much money you're going to lose. You know that you're not going to lose more than $800 because you spent $800 to buy the evaluation. That's gone. That money's gone. The upside's unlimited, but the downside, it's limited. It's gone now. So that's what's cool about breakout prop. You know, it makes you have discipline. If you weren't disciplined enough to stick with what we just explained about having the stop loss built in like that, or say, look, I'm gonna just do $1,000 a day. I'm not losing more than $1,000. Forget it. If that ain't working for you, you're not disciplined enough. Breakout prop will stop you from losing all your damn money. So that's what's cool. Because I get breached, I get another, and I pass it again. Yeah, and that's the thing too. So for example, sure, you got to get $10,000 out of you got to get 10% to get your funded account, but then you get your funded account. And remember, it costs you $800. Hell, you make back the $800 in the first day. You might make it the second day. You might go a week making $1,000 a day, and then you get breached. Which it sucks to get breached, but at least. Shit, you might have made $10,000. That $8,000, that $800 is nothing now to go and buy another one. You know what I'm saying? So that's one way of looking at it for sure, breakout prop. And again, prop firms aren't for everybody. Maybe just doing leverage and being in control of your own bankroll management is better for you. It depends on the person. What's the best ticker you use to pass the evaluation? Well, that is, that's up to you. That's a question that's up to you. It's depends on your volatility or whatever you want to call it, your risk level. For me, when I'm doing the scalping strategy, you could do Bitcoin if you want to. I just usually don't. I use some of the smaller tickers for the scalping strategy because I make a lot of trades in the scalping strategy because I'm getting in and out of it. That's the one where I'm basically what you do on the scalping strategy. Just quick overview of the scalping strategy because look, this would be a bad ticker to do it on here. This would be a bad ticker to do it on right now. We're going to look at Solana, by the way. So let me not abandon my Solana folks. Solana might be a good ticker to do it on. So the way the scalping strategy works is, the magic question. The way the scalping strategy works is that you basically have a 1 hour chart pulled up and you're looking down here at market Cipher B and you're like, okay, we're getting ready for this to turn green. I wouldn't want to start it here at the end of a wave, but let's say it turns green. Like you're waiting on this green dot. This green dot comes and then now we're bullish, right? So you would zoom in to the 10-minute. So now we're bullish. So I'm going to do a little back test. Back test never works as good as it might seem, but now we're bullish, right? So this is the 10 minutes. So it looks like the 10-minute hour, I can't tell you by looking at this exactly when the 10-minute green dot came. The 1 hour green dot came because this is the 10-minute chart. But the 10-minute came before the 1 hour. We know that for a fact. That always happens, right? So the green dot here came on 10-minute. The 1 hour maybe came somewhere around here, call it, right? So then you're waiting on a red. You don't enter yet. First, then this red dot came on the 10-minute. Now that the red dot came on the 10-minute, you enter on the next 10-minute green dot, which was here. And look, it would have worked beautifully on this one because now you're trading with the trend because the 1 hour dot is at your back. It's a green dot at your back. So boom, you entered here. You rode this all the way up to here. So you caught in on this candle here, somewhere on this candle it turned, and then you rode it all the way up until it turned into the red candle, a red dot, and then you got out. So you see, that's a significant move. You would have started out your trade green, your scalp green right away. So how many minutes was that, right? So that was that was only about, let's see, this, just so people know, this ruler tool is a little measurement tool. So we could put it here to here, and that was 6 bars. It was 1 hour. So in 1 hour, you made a nice move in 1 hour if you had done the scalping strategy on the long here, because you would have got in right here, and you would have rode it up. Let's see, right here. I was trying to draw a line here. You would have rode it up to here. So that would have been, actually, let me draw it. It would have been right here to this candle. That's a nice move, especially if you're in breakout proper using leverage and you got a lot of money on it. And then you would have got out. Then you would have got back in on this green dot right here. It would have looked great at first, but then it would have come back against you right here. You would have got out probably somewhere here. This would have turned red somewhere a little bit before the bottom of this candle. And then you would have had your finger on the trigger. You would have jumped back in again on this candle. Somewhere in the, I guarantee you it wasn't down here. It wasn't way up here. It was up here when it turned green. So then you would have got out at the top. This started turning down again. You would have got out here, and you would have given back some of this. You would have been kind of mad, but you would still be green probably. Same thing. You would have waited until this one here. You would have rode this up. It would have turned red somewhere in this candle. You would have got out, and now you're batting singles. So that's how you would do that. And you want to pick a volatile ticker. So, because I'm saying this to answer your question, King Almighty. I mean, what is it? King, what is your name here? The King's mentality. So basically, you want to ride it on, you want to do the scalping strategy on a volatile enough of a ticker in order for it to work without getting waxed on trading fees. Now, for swing trading, when you say what's the best ticker, that's up to you, right? Like, I would say you pick the ticker that you know the price action the best on. That's what I would say for that. Because if you have familiarity with the ticker, just like the coin I was looking at, this one here, I've established that this one is not going crazy like this one. Okay, this has been going up, but this one has not been going up. So I'm entered in a short here because I'm not, and I'm green a little bit right now because it's not doing. Can it do this? It can do this. I just think this is a shit coin and it's ran out of buyers. So why did I pick this ticker? Well, that's why. I think no one. I don't think it's really. I think it's underloved basically, and obviously price is not pushing up when other coins are pushing up. You feel me? Now, granted, I'm shorting, so I'm also picking a bearish ticker. If I wanted to go long, I would pick a bullish ticker. Like say this ticker's been hella bullish. So is this one. So is this one. I just think this is a bullshit ticker in that, when it drops, it's going to drop like a fucking anvil. But you got to be careful getting in early on some shit like this. You fuck around and get breached. So Solana is it's been volatile enough. You can make some moves on it. So what's the best ticker? The ticker is whatever ticker you know the best. That's really the answer to that question. And the only way you're going to know it, by the way, is to trade it. You can watch it, and sure, you'll learn a lot by watching it, but you're going to learn more when you got money on the line. Trust me on that. Okay? And this is what you don't set it and forget it. You got to freaking watch it. It's annoying. It sucks. It sits there. I got out of the live stream yesterday with you guys, and I sat there and watched the charts, I felt like, for another 2 hours. I'm like, shit, I might as well just keep the live stream on. I was looking at the phone and stuff, walking around doing some other stuff, but, you got to sit there and watch the shit. And when I say watch it, I'm watching it on the 1 minute chart. You feel me? It's about that time. Let's check in on the poll. Make sure you vote on the top of the poll if you haven't voted yet. We got here. Will the weekend see Bitcoin reaching $97,000 or not? Will it even touch it? Will it kiss 97,000 on the weekend? That's the poll, yes or no. It's about 50-50, 56 to 44. A lot of you guys are bullish. 56% says yes. 97,000 is so close but so far away. You know what I'm saying? 97,000 is you got to break through this. You got to break through trend lines. You got to fight, and you got to get all the way here. Is it possible? Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I almost think it might happen. If it breaks through here, I think it might. I'm just literally betting on that it won't. I'm betting on that it won't. I'm betting on it will go down. I am, for some reason, relatively bearish all the time. The thing is, again, I'm not trading Bitcoin to the downside. Bitcoin, think about this. Bitcoin hit $95,000 today. That's $5,000 away from 100K. We were looking for 100K my whole life ever since I first discovered Bitcoin. But these other altcoins are down tremendously. Let's just look at Ethereum. Ain't nowhere near coming all the way back up this high, right? It's not even close. Bitcoin basically retraced all the way back up here. You know, if this was Bitcoin, it would look like this. You know what I'm saying? Almost up this high, you know what I mean? But Ethereum way down. Polkadot way down. Oh, I could do that for all of you. Forget about it, right? That ain't never coming back. Way down, way down. Bitcoin is king, man. Ondo's holding up stronger, relatively strong. Degen, the worst. Jasmine, these coins, man. You see what I'm saying? So even though these pumps seem hella big, not coin, these pumps ain't nothing. Bitcoin's held up. That's why. It got a pump, but so, you know. Yeah, well, I mean, listen, what your best ticker is whatever one you like to trade. I will say this, just a word of caution. I'm gonna end the poll now. Word of caution is when you actually when you're on trading a really small shit coin, they'll actually have a maximum amount of money you can put on it. Like you can't even put a whole $100,000 on some of these coins. I mean, you can't even put like $10,000 on some of these coins. I think, or $20,000, maybe 10 you can. But so just keep that in mind. It'll tell you. Breakout Prop will show you a limitation on that right there. Sui went nuts. Yeah, let's take a look at Sui actually. Sui's like the girl who got away. You feel me? Like that's the one I kind of wish I got on the bottom. I made out with her a little bit. I traded her a little bit down there at the bottom, but I didn't hold. I took my profit. I don't have any spot bags for it. It's the girl who got away, but let me tell you something. There's other women out there. Plenty of fish in the sea, okay? You can't win them all. That's just how it is. It's a numbers game. I look at all of them, and you bag a few. Aight? So Sui, I wish I got in Sui down here. This is when I was kissing Sui. Wrote it up. I know some people who are married to Sui. I'm not married to anybody. I'm married to some bags, but I don't know if I'm in love with them anymore. It's like real life, right? That's about it. All right, I wanted to see. Okay, it's 5:08. Let's see real quick. Let me zoom in and see what price action is doing now that the new day has started. It doesn't always happen right away, but I just wanted to see just in case. This is some middle of the road ass shit. Right? I guess we're green technically the first 8 minutes. 1 minute. I do look at the 1 minute waves though, you guys. I zoom in. I mean, just because there's a red dot here don't mean it's going down. But if I'm waiting on waves to turn, I'm gonna zoom all the way into the first one that turns. So like if I was waiting, let's say I was waiting to go short, right? I'm okay. I know I got a 1 minute red dot, so now I don't need to look at 1 minute anymore. Now I gotta look at 3 minute. I'm waiting on 3 minute. When I get the 3 minute red dot, now I'm waiting for the 5 minute. 5 minute comes red dot. Now I'm like, okay, the 5 minute red dot comes. Now I'm checking the 10 minute, looking, you know what I'm saying? Or in this case, we'll say we were looking for long, you know. We already had our 1 minute long down here, 2 minute long, 3 minute long, little divergence here in a 3 minute, 5 minute green popped up. Now the 10 minute popped up. I'm late. I don't know where it was, but boom, I would have entered. But I don't know. Let me double check this real quick. Are we on a green dot or a red dot? We're on a red dot. So I would be looking to go short. We're on a red dot on the 1 hour. I'd be looking to go short. So I would be waiting right now if I was doing the scalping strategy. Okay, look, see the 1 minute red dot disappeared on the 1 minute. So, and that happens all the time, the 1 minute. It came back, look, hell, it got a green dot. Oh, I guess it didn't disappear. It was right there, hidden. And now it's got a green dot. So now I'm waiting to go short. I need to see a 3 minute red dot. We just got this is when I go eat some lunch or whatever, right? Like if I'm shorting, I need to wait for this 10 minute to roll over. So I need to see probably this, right? I don't know if it'll go higher than this previous wick or not. Probably this. I need to see something. I need to see here, right? I need to start seeing that before I can do my short. So don't get anxious. I'm guilty of it. You get anxious, you start entering too early. But if you do enter too early and it goes against you, you should just get out. That's really how you treat that. You should just get out. And you beat yourself up a little bit for it, but you only lost a little fraction of money. It's no big deal. And again, that's why I like having 100 grand on Breakout Prop, because then once you pass the evaluation, now you got 100 grand. You did all that work. It cost you just as much work to get 10% on 10,000 as it would to get 10% on 100,000. Literally the same amount of work. But now that you're funded, you only got 10 grand instead of 100 grand. What? That don't even make no damn sense. You know what I'm saying? And it's cheaper dollar for dollar, it's cheaper for the 100 grand than it is for the 10 grand as far as the bang for your buck. So I always do the 100 grand. I don't even consider the smaller amounts. I did like the first time I did, and I was like, what the hell am I doing? Give me the 100 grand. So yeah, that's pretty much it I got for you guys today. Oh, there's one more thing. I forgot about this. This is another thing. We talked about this yesterday. Henry, you asked about it when you joined yesterday. The stop limit order. I was trying to give an example of stop limit order. This is a perfect example. I'm glad I remembered to say this. Okay, Bitcoin is trading in a price range, right? And we don't know what the hell it's going to do. It's either going to do one of two things. It's going to eventually break to the upside or break to the downside, right? In my opinion, when it crosses this line, it's bullish, and when it crosses this line, it's bearish. Like we're headed downward or we're heading upward. I think we're right at the crossroads. That's my opinion. Now, it's not an exact science. Could we have a false breakout and then come back down? Absolutely. It's possible, right? These lines are not like cement walls, you know what I mean? If it breaks through, there's no looking back. No, it might break up and go down or vice versa a little bit. But roughly, once we get some confirmation, especially this. So this is the other thing you look for. If it does break support resistance, if it bounces off like that, now we're bearish. If it comes up like this and then it retests, you can enter here. And with tight stop loss, if it goes, your money. If not, your stop loss is right below it, in which case you would be stopped out. And if it goes below it, you're back in, right? So that can happen for sure. But this is what I wanted to call out. What's up, Kayla? Kayla Love in the house, y'all. What's popping, Kayla? I'm wrapping up, but this is a very important little technique here, so I'm glad you joined. This is a stop limit order. I was trying to find an example for this yesterday, but now I got one in real time. What this means is this. Right now, let's say you're not in a trade right now, right? Let's say you're not trading right now. You're waiting to find out because you don't know if it's this way or this way, right? So it's okay to wait. You don't gotta confirm. You're like, I'm waiting for a breakout to tell me what's real and what's fake, right? A stop limit order would be set right on the actual support and resistance line. So you would set a bullish order here to say if price hits this, it triggers an order for a long to go this way. Whereas a regular limit order is the opposite. Like if you set a limit order here, it's because you're trading the range and you think that this is going to happen like this, and then this is going to happen like this, and this is going to happen like this. That's where you'd set a limit order that says if it hits this, I enter a short, and when I hit this, I enter a long, and vice versa. That's what you would be doing. But if you're trading a stop limit order, that means you believe that when it breaks out of this, it's going to do this. So you don't even trade when you're in the middle part. You're out of here. You see what I'm saying? Let's see. French Toast, all set. I'm very close, brother. Oh, okay. I'm glad y'all are communicating. Communicate like that in the Discord too, y'all. Let's get it popping. So check it out. If you set a stop limit order, you'd set it like right above this line. Right above this line. So if it hit here, you have a stop loss like maybe here or something, and it doesn't retrace, you're not stopped out yet, and boom, you're off to the races. Same thing to the downside. You would set a stop limit order short. So if you're not right there, actually, you'd set it just outside of your trading range, and you're supposed to. You believe that if it went down like that, then you're short now. So maybe if it goes like this, that's fine. So you're setting it with the trend. So maybe I'll make a video on stop limit orders. I don't have one yet. This is one of the reasons why I'm cutting back on my daily live stream, because I need to make more evergreen content that explains some of these. They're tools, but they're a tool that is utilized in a certain type of a strategy. So you kind of need to know the strategy and the tool and why you'd use it. So that's what a stop limit order does, is that it trades the breakout. And I think it was Blockchain Cowboy talked about that in the Discord, how he traded the breakout on Ethereum to the upside. Okay, no, so French Toaster. Okay, so here we go. Now this is very important. He's bringing up an issue, market psychology, okay? And when I say psychology, that's everything, right? There's market psychology, meaning predicting price, but market psychology of the individual trader as well. I get very frustrated with losses, and it's something I need to fix. Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. Look, I do too. I used to do that as well. It's natural to get frustrated with losses, right? This is what will help you with that. Make the losses smaller. Have stop losses. What happens is you get a lot of reps and you're losing some little, I don't know, $10, whatever. I don't know how much money is a lot of money. Maybe $1,000 is not nothing to you, but whatever it is, you're losing just like less than 1% of your bankroll on some little stop loss. Before you know it, you took 10 losses in a row because you were setting super tight stops, and they're frustrating. But when you look at the end of the day at your bottom line and you only lost $100 out of 100,000, grand scheme of things, $100 wasn't nothing, right? You got your breakout prop account with 100 grand. Set some really tight stop losses. try to pick tops or whatever you want to do, or to pick bottoms. And you got to get lost a bunch of times. Let me tell you something, you guys. I used to play lacrosse when I was a kid. Well, shit, in high school and college too. But like, I was afraid of getting hit. I was in 7th grade, and my older brother and his partner, and everybody was bigger than my cousin. Everybody was bigger than me. And I was afraid of getting hit. And I was like, man, this shit's scary, right? Put on all the pads and like, fuck this shit. We're going to line you up, and we're going to lay you out. You need to man up. Stop being a bitch. I said, okay. So I stood there, and they just, ran right through me. Laid me the fuck out. And I was like, well, shit, that wasn't so bad. I'm about to do that shit again. Next one, step up. Boom. Next time you know, I'm hitting back. Boom. I'm hitting back. Every play, I'm hitting back. Boom. I was never afraid of getting hit ever again after that shit. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just got to get hit on the chin. Or even when I started boxing, I stepped in the ring. Boy, I was fighting so scared, just running and trying to jab him. He's like, you can't be running away while you throwing punches. You feel me? Yeah, hockey, exactly. Shit, you know, if you played hockey, that's lacrosse on skates, right? So you got to just take the hits, and then you start. It's not that you're not mad that you lost, but you get calloused over to the effect of, like, in the grand scheme of things, I've lost 1,000 times before, you know? And again, this is where I think breakout prop is possibly helpful for that mentality, because your money is already spent, you know? Like, you could get breached in breakout prop, but at least you don't lose anything extra. Like, the money is gone before you even, you know, I got 100 grand to make it work, you know what I'm saying? And if I lose, you know, I can take a week vacation if I need to, you know what I'm saying? Or you can buy one right then. But the point is, you don't lose anything extra. So you could take a 100 grand portfolio and then only trade with $100, or set your stop loss at negative $100, right? So you're only losing 1/10 of 1%, and then boom, boom, it happens to you 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. You be like, God damn, you know, and feel like Chris Tucker, what the hell, man? Do what I wanted to do. But you look up and you only down, shit, you might have lost 10 times, you only lost 1% of your portfolio overall. You know what I'm saying? I still got 100 grand account, you know what I'm saying? So there's no easy answer to fix like psychology other than you got to just get used to it. And that's why I like the short-term trading, because you get more reps. It used to suck when I'd be in a long-term swing for weeks or even months, and then the shit don't work out, and you're like, man, this cost me $25,000. I was playing big money in TradFi, man. Big money on the line. Man, I used to trade with had millions, bro. And I had hundreds of thousands of dollars trading with him, you know? This is before I had leverage. Well, we would trade options too. He was safer than me. He'd been trading 20 years. He'd been trading since the late 90s. I really got taught the game from some OGs, you guys. I was in there. When I say trading with him, like literally we were in the same trade. I learned so much from him. So, and I'm still cool with him and everything. But he just doesn't fuck with crypto. And I'm telling him, bro, use market cipher, use leverage. But I mean, he been doing, you know, he ain't trying to hear me on that shit. I'm like, I was like, the way we trade, you could use these momentum waves. It'd be exactly what you've been looking for. But I can't make nobody do that, especially when they rich. Okay. Rich people do whatever the hell they want to do. So, but yeah, I'm just like, the only way is you got to take the lumps. Because Lord knows I done taken hell losses in a day, fucking around, trying to day trade options. And man, I remember one time I was up $500 on a DraftKings options trade. And I was trying to squeeze through that $1,000. And that trade went against me. And I kept doing stupid shit, averaging down. I lost over 20 grand that day. And I was like, I was pissed. But the thing is, you kind of just learn to be like, I'm never going to do that again. And yes, I've done it again since then. But this is a long time ago. It's like 2020. But I was like, what happens is when you've done all that big shit hella times, I think, or maybe you've been breached on breakout prop a few times or whatever, maybe, I don't know. Like something, you get enough bad shit happen to you that when you start exercising good risk management and the bullshit keeps adding up, you start feeling like, man, that ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we back in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like that little ain't shit. You know what I mean? You get breached on breakout prop, man, I'm buying an account right away if that were to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that don't really happen to me. I trade it slower now. And that's the other thing to you guys. Like, again, no disrespect to nobody else. They can trade however they want to trade. But when the people who use like the whole 100,000 or the whole, you know, they're using 50 grand on their opening position and shit. And then breakout prop is going to show you the person who made they cashed out 55 grand today or whatever. Listen, man, like there's a lot more people who lose trying to chase that big of a play than win, okay? I'm just keeping it real with y'all. Like, they give you 100 grand. All you need is a system, and you bet those singles, and it adds up, you know? You don't need to go for the home run every time. And as a matter of fact, you're better off not going for it. Because this is why. Here's the reason why I developed the scalping strategy. It's because as soon as you try to fight the trend, anything bigger than 10-minute wave, you think it's about to turn around, but it don't turn around. So then you average down a little bit more. And it's about to turn around, but then it don't turn around. Yeah, the market will humble you fast, right? And remember, this is another great one. I swear to God, this is every single day I think about this. The market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. I wanted to call this out yesterday. So there's a guy, my man Chris, right? He was in the group. He was in here one time. And he's in my private alpha group. And he's an AI builder. He's a dev. And we kind of had a little friendly argument, whatever you want to call it, discussion, debate, if you will, in the private group yesterday. And I want to talk about it here. I'm going to have him come on the show so we can talk about it in public. You know what I'm saying? But basically, we're talking about how markets work. And my argument was that, you know what, TradFi really ain't no different than crypto. They speculate just as much as we do over here. The difference is in crypto, we're fucking honest about it. That's basically the premise of what I'm saying, right? But we start going into details about this company, that company, and I'll spare you all that kind of stuff. We're going to talk about that, me and him on the show one time. But we got into the fact that, like, let's see, where was it? We got into the fact that, like, the market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. And one of the questions that we were arguing, if you will, was my argument is that the market is always right. Always right. And I showed him the example of Asana. Okay, freaking Asana. Let me tell you guys how much money I lost on that shit. Matter of fact, I'll show you this one. This is a stock, right? They're like software. Asana is their ticker. Oh, there it is. So this is 2021, okay? Let me pull up the weekly chart, we'll call it. That's Bitcoin. Where the fuck is the sun? Oh, it's at the bottom. This is their chart, okay? This is the weekly chart. Right here, they did earnings on September 2nd. I remember this shit quite well. I was in Napa. And their earnings hit, and they weren't even that good, and the price just like pumped like crazy. So in the blink of an eye, I was down 18 grand. I was like, what the fuck, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is bullshit. I was hella mad, you know what I'm saying? And then I knew, because I knew that this fucking shit was going to roll over and come down. And look, it hasn't come back since, you know? This is the 2021 hype cycle, right? And I'm like, who was right and who was wrong? You get what I'm saying? Was I right or was I wrong? I knew it would drop, but I was early. You know what I'm saying? It dropped up here, and I didn't re-enter, and I'd be rich if I had gotten that same short in starting here, right? You know what I'm saying? I would have made literally hundreds of thousands of dollars if I had caught the top of this, which is what I thought was here. You feel me? And it never came back. So I was right. Technically, this price was too high. It was bullshit. But the market was right. He's like, no, he's like, you were right. The market was wrong. I said, tell that shit to my bank account. Let me write a letter to my broker. Let me hit up customer service and tell them, hey, the market was wrong on Asana. You could see that a couple of months later, it actually dropped and never came back. Can I have my money back on that day when I lost all that money and I kept averaging down on that trade that I shouldn't have averaged down on because I knew that when earnings came, they would be bad and it would drop, but instead it went against me? The market is always right. You get what I'm saying? You don't get to say the market. And he was like, no, you were right. The market was wrong. I said, listen, man, I say that shit every day. Okay. But whatever affects your bank account is what's right. Right. Whatever affects objective reality is what's right. And that's, to me, that's part of the debate. So if you're getting stopped out because the market is irrational, you gotta step away from that trade, or you gotta watch it. I mean, you could go long or you could just step out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no refunds on crypto, no takebacks. We play for keeps, right? So the thing is, if you fight a 10-minute wave, is what I was trying to get at. If you fight that green dot, just a 10-minute wave. I zoom all the way on 10 minute, right? Let me go back to Bitcoin or something. If you fight the 10-minute wave, it might end up blowing up in your face, in which case you're going against the trend longer and longer and longer and longer. Whereas if you just get out when that 10-minute wave goes against you, no matter what, you either lost just a little bit or you actually gained and you took profit. You didn't get wrecked. And that was how I kind of developed that scalping strategy. Obviously, it's on a 10-minute wave, so it's scalping. But like you're on Breakout Prop or Phemex, and you're all zoomed in looking at the 1-minute candle, and then on TradingView, you're looking at the 10-minute or 5 or anything below 10-minute. But you got the 1 hour at your back. Even the 1 hour at your back is not necessarily enough, right? Like, it's nice to have the 2 hour, 3, like the long. Like, for example, if Bitcoin, let's say Bitcoin does roll over like I'm hoping / anticipating, and we get a red dot here, And then we got a red dot on the 12-hour. And, you know, now I'm like, okay, we're in a downward trend now, we'll say, right? Now I feel like I got the biggest waves at my back plus the 1 hour at my back. Now I'm going to short every time the 10-minute. I'm like selling the rip, right? You're supposed to buy the dip and sell the rip. I'm selling the rip, if you will, with the trend all the way down, zigzagging it. You know, if this rolls over, it'll be doing this and this and this and this. And I'll be selling here and taking profit here and selling here and taking profit here. And so that's basically it, because the one time you think it's the bottom and then it ain't the bottom, and then all of a sudden you're in deeper and deeper and deeper, and then you have bad decisions to make. You either cut your whole loss to get out, and then you're mad. Then it is psychologically like, fuck. This happens. But if you have the discipline to use the system and get out, then that way, you know, the losses don't hurt as much, because it's like, remember the saying goes, small wins, small losses. Small wins, small losses. Then you catch a big win, and then small wins, small losses. If you trade with the trend, that will eventually happen. Calling the refund hotline, exactly. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got for today, but I'm glad we got to cover a lot of stuff today. This is my last weekday live stream. So, hey, shout out to everybody here. Do me a favor. If you're in the Discord, just say what's up, so I know who is who. Sometimes you guys got different names in the Discord than you do in the chat here. I got, like, something coming up for you guys, and everyone's been rocking. You guys are my day ones, man. It's been 1 month, right? We're wrapping up my 4th week doing this. This is my 26th live stream. And y'all been rocking with your boy Cassius Cuvée the whole time. Shout out Algorand. That's my biggest long-term bag. I got the Algorand hoodie on. They sent me this, actually. The foundation sent me this. So shout out to Algorand Foundation. And remember to like, share, and subscribe. Please like the video. Appreciate that. Share it with a homeboy. Just send it a text message or whatever. The algorithm likes that kind of stuff. And then also make sure that you comment in the Discord. Anything else you want to learn, want me to cover, if you want to make a video, someone want to make a scalping video, I need to make it. I've been trying to make it for a while. I need to make it. I got a couple Phemex tutorial videos coming out too. So anybody who's kind of new to Phemex, basic navigation, how to you can create an account and make a spot trade within 10 minutes watching that video. And then there's part 2, which is going to be teaching you how to leverage trade, and with a few more buttons and features on how to navigate Phemex. And then I'm going to have a breakout prop video. And then I got to have some more strategy video. I got a lot of stuff coming. And we're going to plan on how we do the Sunday show. It's going to be fun. We're going to have raps. But we also going to be getting into these charts and teaching specific things on technical analysis as well. Eventually, I'm going to start having guests. Some people that you guys know. You know, I know a lot of folks you just saw in the In Real Life music video. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to end it with the In Real Life music video one more time. Shout out to everybody going to the Bitcoin conference. I will see you there. I will see you there, players. All right, man. That's pretty much it. That's all I got for y'all today, man. Give us all a risk management video. Yeah, the one I explained to you. I got to do the risk management video. You're absolutely right. Anyway, we're gonna play it out with this one here in real life one more time. For the people who joined late, they didn't get to see it. You can see some of these are the moment I met some of these people, like Crypto Wendy O and Altcoin Daily, Miss Teen Crypto, Stash. I met some of these people, so let's ride out with this one.
I stepped off the jet, go straight to rock a show for my people. Decentralized social, met the founder of DISA. Pop a bunch of bottles, party all night long. The next day, me and D. Marie recorded a song. I'm just a boy from the Bay, what more can I say? Went to NFTLA and stayed for more than a day. Met Austin and Aaron at the VIP, checking with the best crypto news show. You gotta respect them. Special shout out to Devin and Rich reppin' Super World. We went to a party, met a real life super girl. Whenever I seen Kyla, she was always smiling. She be lighting up the praise booth without even trying. I done came a long ways from the days when I was struggling. A crab in the bucket, then mad when they was rugging them. But now I flip the script, take a trip and we can have a ball. And hit the strip with more drip than Niagara Falls. I met a chick so thick it's no refusing her. She told me that this Web3 life is seducing her. She want me to feel her confidence to the fullest. I'm like Altcoin Daily, baby, always bullish. Now, if you get with me, then baby we gon' see if you meant to be in the lifestyle. If you get with me, then baby we gon' see if you meant to be in the lifestyle. In real life, 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 in real life. in real life, in real life. Shout out to my DJs who mostly getting richer. You should tag them, cause they don't waste their time posting pictures. I met founders like Reggie, pioneers like Jim Jordan. Israel told me who were early and important. I seen him in LA, then at Bitcoin Miami. Kicked it with David Lynn and High Monks. They the family, did a blocks to interview with Meeks, and then I'm about to be at the after party with Hadis on the balcony. Even in my jeans, you can see my blings. Me and Dreamer hit the scene like some DeFi kings. And investing with Annie, that's the Bitcoin queen. Or follow Stash in your bags, couldn't get more green. Miss Teen Crypto and Wendy O in real life. It feels nice, like selling the top of a hill twice. I chill with Will Berry in a castle above with Jared, Doug, Brad, and Amy till the sun coming up. Call Kayla Love, Spotty Wi-Fi, and a couple groupies. Then pick a plot across the sandbox from Uncle Snoopy. Subscriber count is kinda low, but it ain't nothing to me. Still live this Web3 life like it's a fucking movie. If you get with me, then baby we gon' see if you meant to be in the lifestyle. If you get with me, then baby we gon' see if you meant to be in the lifestyle. In real life, 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 in real life. Don't be fooled by the follower count on those scam ass Web2 platforms. I'm verified on decentralized social media. That's right. DSO, let's go.
Yo. Actually, I got one more bonus one. In that song, I say, me and D. Marie recorded a song. I want to show y'all the song that me and D. Marie recorded. I recorded, it was at NFTLA. And check it out. Hold on, we got to go to this one. This one was a chill song. This ain't no crypto song. She worked for a cannabis company, so it's called They Watching Me Rolling My Weed. We were sitting in the hot tub right there in that video when I said that. And I said, she was like, I got this song. I was hella high, and then the police pulled up next to me in my Tesla, and then I was looking at them, and then I was sitting there rolling my weed, and they looked right at me, and then we just drove on. She was on self-drive mode in the Tesla on the way home. And so the Tesla just smashed off on the police when she was rolling weed. So that's what this rap is about. And we were sitting in that hot tub, and I was at the DSO meetup, and then she's like, I got the hook though. I got the hook. I never made a song before. I got a hook. I said, I got some beats in my phone. Hold on a minute. So I just pulled out the phone with the beats, and then she told me the hook, and I was like, you know what? I think we could do this one. So this is They Watching Me Rolling.
They watching me rolling my weed. 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 We smoking, we minting all night. We rolling, OG up, get high. They watching me rolling my weed. 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 We smoking,
never done
we
this song before.
minting all night. We rolling, OG up, get
It's like
high.
that, I believe I can see the aroma. Got the kind of trees that'll leave you in a coma. About a pound of weed, 'cause we need marijuana. Calling D. Marie, I need to be a stoner. On my way home, I'm tired and a wrestler. Turning on the self-drive mode in the Tesla. Look to my left and stall and pretend though. Police staring at me all in my window. Damn.
They watching me rolling my weed. 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 We smoking, we minting all night. We rolling, OG up, get high. They watching me rolling my weed. 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 We smoking, we minting all night. We rolling, OG up, get high.
Yo. Hey, rolling one right now. We were in a hotel room. This was the night that Chris Rock got slapped by Will Smith, who was in the hotel room recording this song. She pulled up in the everything I say in the Tesla is a true story. I mean, everything I say in the rap is a true story about the Tesla. And we were sitting in the hotel room recording. She'd never recorded a song before. I got my whole laptop. I bring a mobile studio with me everywhere I go. I got my little microphone, but that motherfucker worked kind of cool. And then I said, record your part. And then I'm record. I didn't even write my part yet. She left. It's like 2 a.m. I finished writing my part. I'm going to record it, and then dude called me talking about, hey, did you see the Chris Rock shit? What happened? And all that in the hotel room. And then the next day we were at the Pink Floyd concert and shit. It was all, it was NFT weekend, so it was like hella shit going on. And I was with the DSO crew, DSO fam. Shout out to my DSO fam. That's Decentralized Social Media, the place that I am verified on, not Twitter. And basically, I filmed the music video just on my phone right there. So all that shit was just like, boom, bam. Right? The hot tub was in the morning. That night we wrote and recorded the song. The next day, shot the music video. Boom, day after that, it's popping. And that's how Cassius Cuvée does it, man. That's what your boy does, man. As soon as I got a chance to do some shit live on the go, guerrilla style, man. Yeah, Pink Floyd. So the one dude from Pink Floyd, he rocks with the DSO crew now. I talked to him a few times. He's been in a lot of the chat. The one guy, Alex, who helped film me a lot of times and stuff, he's real cool with him. So, yeah, Pink Floyd is tapped in with the crypto for sure. All right, y'all. That's all I got for you today, man. I'm glad you was rocking with me, though. We had a good time. Listen, 26 episodes in, man, almost back-to-back on all of them. Only like, 2 or 3 days off in between there. Got a lot of reps under my belt. I appreciate y'all for always supporting me and rocking with me this whole time. I am going to make more content. You want the stop-loss video? I'm going to do it. And put suggestions or whatever in the Discord. We're reorganizing Discord a little bit. Going to have a lot more engagement in games and fun shit in there, too. And then also, like, trivia and that kind of stuff, as well as the strategies. Post your wins in there, and the community helping one another. That's what I want to see in the Discord as well. But I think when I make more evergreen content, then there'll be some stuff that can kind of help folks who maybe don't watch live streams as much or whatever the case may be. And then when we get a lot of new people, because I'm going to spend a lot of time promoting. Right now, I've been rocking with y'all. You my core group. You guys are my day ones. So shout out to my day ones. You will be immortalized in a minute. So I'll holla at you later, man. And that's what's popping. Happy Friday, y'all. Peace.